What's up, everybody? Welcome to Brick Hive. Thank you for joining me. I hope all of you are doing well and staying safe and hopefully having a great day or night. This is not like any of my other videos. It's a little more serious, talking about a serious subject. First, I want to start off by saying that there is a lot of different levels of stress, of depression, of anxiety. What I'm going to be discussing is work and your mental health. The reason I want to talk about work and your mental health is because of what happened to me basically the whole last year. And before I even start kind of explaining that part, I do want everybody to know that I've been in maintenance for over 20 years. As a maintenance technician, you do all kinds of emergency calls. And I'm not talking about like someone calls and says like their oven's not working at 9 o'clock at night. I'm talking like everything from at 3 o'clock in the morning you're getting called because somebody on the first floor at a 3-story apartment building calls saying like it's raining inside their apartment. So you gotta go up to the 3rd floor and either wake somebody up or go inside somebody's apartment, they're not there. And just the point I'm trying to make is if you're a maintenance technician, you learn how to handle stress. You learn how to handle, anxiety. You learn how to handle a lot of stuff because you're just dealing with it all the time and you just get used to it and you learn how to think on your feet. You learn how to do quick thinking. You train and you learn. So that being said, I've dealt with a lot of stress and anxiety in my life with my job. Always been able to get through it. I got into management and I was doing great in management for several years. And then I finally, in November of 2019, I got promoted to a head manager job, service or maintenance supervisor, which was great. I was looking forward to it. I worked really hard to get there. The thing that I didn't realize was at this particular place, with the whole plethora of different problems I had at this different place, really took its toll on me. I saw the writing on the wall within the first few weeks I was there, but I was trying to be a trooper. I don't like to just give up on stuff, and I was like, I can do this. You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this work for 20 years. I can do this. It didn't turn out good. I can tell you that. As a matter of fact, that's why I'm making this video. Within the last year of my life, up until a few weeks ago when I actually quit my job and I got a different job, I have dealt with more stress and anxiety and depression than I've ever had to deal with in my life, that I ever thought I could even deal with, to be quite honest with you. I have been, and look, I'm going to say a few things and I don't want anybody to take anything to heart because I'm doing much better now. There's still a lot of things I'm trying to figure out, but I'm doing a lot better than I was. But over the last year, I have been completely miserable, completely unhappy, not loving life at all. Just I've had like this crushing weight of anxiety and just everything that goes along with that. It got to the point where I kept trying to push through. It's like it'd get better, but just one thing after another would keep happening. And there's a lot of other factors involved that I'm not even going to get into because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not really relevant. I mean, it is, but it's not really going to make a difference in me telling you about certain things about my past job. It's hard to explain, but it's basically, there's some things I'm just not going to bring up. So like I was saying, the anxiety and the depression and the stress. So a couple ways I can kind of explain it in different words is my head felt like it was in a vice. Just weight just crushing down on me. I felt like I was in like a box, like just claustrophobia. I'd say within about 7 months of me at this place, it finally got to a point where it was starting to affect me physically. Like I was starting to get chest pains. I was starting to almost have panic and anxiety attacks. I really, at that point, I didn't even know if I was going to just lose it and snap and just crawl under my desk into a fetal position, or if I was going to take a computer and throw it out a damn window. I really didn't know what was going to happen because I never got any rest. I never had rest. Every week. Sometimes it was on the weekends, sometimes it was while I was streaming, sometimes it was during the weekday. It didn't matter. But like, my tax would call me, Leasing agents would call me. My bosses would call me. Corporate, regional people would call me. The county sheriff would call me. Cops would call me. Contractors would call me. Like, I had so many calls. I'm all about some hard work. I have worked my ass off since I was a young teenager. I got a job at McDonald's. I've been working ever since. Never stopped. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was unemployed for a few months back when my daughter was young. I've had a transition of like, maybe a week or so in between a job. There's just different things. I've had very small breaks, or maybe like a vacation or something. But like even the whole year that I worked at this last job, I took 4 days off for a vacation to go to Brick Fair. And I took like maybe 2 half days off or something, because I had to go to the doctor or the dentist or something. But like I never like took any time off. I never had time. There's never a chance to. And that's the other thing about depression. And I'm gonna go through some numbers here in just a second. But Brick Fair, Christmas, when I'm streaming with people, I have all these pockets of happiness. Don't get me wrong. I mean, everybody clearly see like how much I loved going to Brick Fair and meeting everybody and how much it meant to me and how happy I was. But no matter how happy I've been throughout this past year, there's always in the back of my mind, there's always this looming thing of just dread. I've just not been truly happy in a long time. Like truly happy. And it's really weird. So it's real easy to be completely miserable but put on a mask, of happiness. So the ADAA, the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, they say that there's 6.8 million adults in our country that have anxiety. So the thing you need to know about anxiety, if you don't, is one of the things that can lead up to like a panic attack. So some of the things you need to know in case you don't know. Some of the things that anxiety can do is make you anticipate disaster, make you way overly concerned about things like your finances, your health, your family, work, things that it's okay to have some worry about. But when you're so worried, those things that I was talking about just a second ago, those are what lead up to a panic attack or an anxiety attack. And those are things that can really harm your physical body as well as your mind. When you start hyperventilating, it increases your heart rate, your blood pressure goes up. There's a lot of different things that can happen because of that. I've always known, even when I was younger, just from watching a lot of my family and stuff and listening to a lot of adults talk, like stress can kill you. Like there are a lot of other factors involved that can add to it, but stress will kill you. And the thing about like anxiety and is, those things start small usually. Like normally they start very small and they just fester and they grow and they grow. So let's run down some more numbers and let's talk about work and your mental health. Now, this isn't going to apply to everybody. A lot of people that might watch this video don't work, or they might not need to work, or they have a great job that they love, or they don't have certain finances that they have to pay, or there's a lot of different reasons why this video might not really pertain to you. Now, like, it doesn't mean that you don't have anxiety, stress, depression, or other things from other areas. But I'm just talking about work-related stress and your mental health. So let's talk about depression. 264 million Americans live with depression. The most common type of depression, and I think what I fell into as well, is called major depressive disorder. That is the most common form of depression. So most employees fear even talking to their bosses about things that are unfair or their mental health or anxiety or whatever the case may be, because they're fearful that their bosses might interpret it as they can't do their job and they'll lose their job. A lot of them fear that they won't get a raise or be promoted because of it. A lot of them think that there might be repercussions, like because you're not putting on a happy face at work. You know what I mean? A lot of employees think that it'll go on their file. And then there's just a lot of people that don't even want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. So some more numbers. When it comes to depression and anxiety and stress and the workplace, 56% of employees said that it impacted their workplace performance. And that's something that really blows my mind about employers and why a lot of them don't take this stuff seriously. They don't really engage with their employees about their mental health, or just reach out with a helping hand, because dude, it's your productivity that goes down. When people are happier at work, they work more, they work better, they work more efficiently. 51% of employees said that it affected their relationship with their coworkers and peers, which makes sense. 50% of them said their quality of work actually went down. Not just the productivity, but the actual quality. And 43% of employees said that it affected their relationship with their superiors, which again, makes a lot of sense. Now, sometimes it's not quite fair, just because maybe your manager's not doing something or your boss isn't doing something, but there might be something more to it. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're going through stuff. It's hard to say. There's a lot of different reasons, but yeah, it definitely affects their relationship with the employees and their superiors. 83% of men and 72% of women carry all that stress and everything over into their personal lives. 79% of men and 61% of women actually carry it over into their relationships. So many ways that different people cope with job stress. So 31% drink more caffeine, 27% smoke more, 25% of people actually exercise more, 23% take medication, 20% use alcohol. And then it kind of starts breaking down into like more eating, sleeping, those things are also common. So, the bigger point of this is really, it's trying to find, a work-life balance. But I wanted to say that no matter what stress or whatever mental health issues that you might be dealing with, and it doesn't have to be just with work, it could be with anything, but it's very important, talk to somebody. Talk to your friends. If it's very serious, seek professional help. But talking definitely helps out a lot. It's really good, obviously, to talk to people, talk to your friends, family, definitely a professional if you need it. And honestly, try and find things that make you happy. For most of us, it's Lego, those things make us happy. But obviously, spending time with friends and family, going out and doing things, just trying to collect as many good vibes as you can. That always definitely helps. As far as the work-life balance thing and trying not to stress out and have all these other issues, with working, I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. All I know is you have to do your best to keep yourself out of those situations. But that was the main reason why I kind of wanted to make this video, because a lot of people are really just trapped. What do? Not go to work? Not pay your bills? There's already a lot of people that I know, and I don't even know how they're getting by because they're not working. It's none of my business. I just don't know how they do it. A lot of people are in different situations, but I know there's a lot of us out there that struggle with this stuff. One of the reasons why I was so hesitant to make this video is because I have so much, and it doesn't, in my mind, I kept telling myself, you have no reason to be depressed. You have no reason to be stressed out. You have no reason to be anything but happy. I have an awesome wife. I have a beautiful daughter. I have all of you, friends, family. I have my channel. I have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of Lego. I have so many things that I to be happy for. And I am happy for those things, and they make me happy. But I realize that that's not going to erase, how I'm feeling about things. So the second reason was I really just didn't want to bring anybody down. as much as I know how important it is to talk to people, and even with half the reason I'm making this video is to just talk to all of you, and not just tell you what had happened to me, how I've been feeling, but I know a lot of you deal with the same thing, and maybe not on the same level. Maybe you're not as stressed out as I was, or maybe you're not as depressed as I was, but there's no doubt I'm probably preaching to the choir here. Most Americans actually live paycheck to paycheck, and they feel trapped in their job. And honestly, I feel like for a lot of people, YouTubing is no exception. I feel like a lot of people, get stressed, maybe have some anxiety, maybe have some depression, just from YouTube, being a YouTuber. Maybe you're not getting videos out fast as you want. Maybe you're not happy with the videos you've been making. Maybe you're not getting attention that you thought you would get, and it makes you sad. There's a lot of different things that could happen, because there's a lot of people that have YouTube as a job as well. So I can imagine that if you had YouTube as a job, yeah, you might stress out a lot, because it's kind of like, in a way, where most of my life I've always had a steady job. I've had a little bit, but not had much of like a tip job, because you just don't know what you're gonna make, Whereas if you got a steady job, you're working 9 to 5, whatever, you're gonna get that same paycheck every 2 weeks or week or whatever. But yeah, YouTube, you never know. I mean, there was a pretty big scare a couple years ago with the whole, oh God, I can't even think of what it was called now. But you guys know what I'm talking about. With the whole the kid thing, you couldn't make kid videos, and everybody in the Lego YouTube community was kind of freaking out. So I appreciate everybody watching. I really hope that you're doing well and you are staying safe. I myself am looking forward to a much better, much brighter 2022. I definitely feel a lot better now, but I can tell you this, if you do need somebody to talk to, if I'm free, I will definitely talk to anyone out there that needs a friend. I'm not always free, I'm a busy person already, but if you need somebody, reach out to me and I will get back to you as fast as I can. Normally I'm pretty quick, but sometimes I take a long time. But I'm here if you just need somebody to reach out to. If you just need a virtual hug, a virtual, like, hey, you're gonna be okay, let me know. Reach out to me. We'll get through this. I promise. All right. I think that's gonna do it for this video. I've been meaning to try and talk about it, and it's just really difficult for me to talk about, for basically the two major reasons I mentioned before. Anyways, all of you are awesome. Don't forget it. Peace.